Hello and welcome to the Last Greenhorn Show. Continuing the collections of the games and stuff like that. This is PS2. Now, PS2, I've never grown up playing it and everything like that, and it is a wonderful console, and it's definitely a console that almost everybody's ever has at least played it once in their period of their life. It's that big of a console. It's to the point where it's like almost to the recognition of the original NES. The PS2 is not my most favorite console of all time. That is the PlayStation 1. That is my favorite console. Then maybe it's a tie-in with PS3 and PS2, and PS4, it's still too early for me to call it but it's right now for the PS4, it's doing great for compared to the PS2 as starting legacies and stuff like that. But we're not going to talk about consoles and stuff like that. We're just talking about the game collections. So let's go to our first thing. Like I said, I've got rid of a lot of my PS2 games in the past, and I've been trying to recollect them all. I almost got all the games I grew up playing, but I've been adding some newer ones on there. So here's one of the newer ones. Alienation. Alien Homeworld. Alien Hominid. Alien Hominid. I don't even pronounce that. Hominid. Hominid. Whatever. This game. This game was actually one of the really first big indie games that came out when indies were still indies were always a thing. People seem to ignore this, but this is like one of the first times that indie became so big it became like this well-known game and everything, and everybody wanted to play it. Well, at this time there was no digitally downloads. So for the Behemoth, which is a company right there, Behemoth, they're the ones who made the Castle Crashers. This was their first game, I believe. I believe this was their very first game, or if not, it's their very first successful game. And it is a really good shoot-'em-up, man. It's basically where you just run across and you just start shooting right. If you ever played Metal Slug X or any of the Metal Slug games, it's pretty close like it. Now, I do believe Metal Slug's a little better than this, but it is a good game, and it's well worthy of anybody's game collection to put it into it. Moving on. There's another good game, and that is Ape Escape 2. Ape Escape 2 is just basically a great follow-up to the original Ape Escape on the PS1. It just improved upon the mechanics. Now, I love the Ape Escape games, and I would love to see the franchise be brought back. Now, I was really disappointed to see it never got really a big title on the PS3, and I see we can have a major opportunity with like the PS4 and PlayStation VR and stuff like that. Because this game always seems to be trying to do with new mechanics, like the first Ape Escape. It was the first PlayStation game to be only usable with the joysticks. I think there was another game that was first, but it was the Ape Escape was the first one to be announced that it's dual. Yeah, they have the joysticks to work it. And then you got a Wii game where you use like the Wii remote to catch them and the PlayStation Move. So I can see probably a possibility of maybe like a VR Ape Escape at some point on the PS4 era. But I would love an actual official title, an actual game. So well, I won't say actual game, but just saying the official like Ape Escape 4 or something. So yeah, check out Ape Escape. Well worth it. And of course, if you play 1 and 2, you definitely got to play Ape Escape 3. Again, same game, same style, same worth of everything. Just proved and added some mechanics and stuff like that. And it's another worthy game to be played. There's not much I can say. It just adds up onto it. Now, I've heard debates about saying which ones are the best, and I like them all. They're all very charming and well worth a time to play. If you play one, it's worthy to play the other two. Now, here's a franchise that I got when it was like the ending of the PS2 era and the PS3 was still really big. And I had a PS3, I just didn't have too many games, so I was really doing a lot of PS2 searching around because there was a lot of titles that people were ignoring. Now, these titles are really expensive now. They're going up. And they are well worth it because they are really good games. And if you are like me, and there was not a lot of really memorable RPGs compared to like the PS1 era on the PS2. Now, there was some good PS2 RPGs. I'm not saying that. There was none of like Final Fantasy 7 and 9 and 8 and Tactics and Legend of Dragoon and stuff like that where I can still pop that in and play it. But enough of me rambling. But here it is. Tonelico, Melody of Elemia. This is an amazing RPG. Man, I was blown away for how much fun it was to play. When I first got it, I was like, why am I buying this? But when I got it, wow, I became a fan. I am a hardcore fan of Tonelico. It's got amazing music, amazing battle mechanics, amazing, interesting story, really original, where it's like song magic, where you have like these two girls here. I don't know if you can see them, but these two girls here, they're like song magic, almost like an actual like a magic where they sing and create spells through songs. And I was shocked by this. I was very different to what I'm used to. It is a dating simulator too. You like can choose a girl which one you want to get with at the end, or you can choose no girl if you want to. I believe you can choose no girl. It's been a while, but you got a PS2. You got to look this game up. You got to. It's well worth the time and just to have it on PS2. But like I said, they're getting expensive, so you're gonna have to search for one. If you come across one at a GameStop or any mom and pop store and you see one, buy one. Trust me. Even if you don't own a PS2, make sure you at least get the copy. Especially if you can find a complete box of it. Now, here's the one. Now, a lot of people say this is not as good. To me, it surpassed it. I was shocked at how well this came out. And that is Tonelico 2. Melody of Metafalica. I was addicted to this game. I was blown away by how much fun I had playing this. There's the inside of it. That's not the soundtrack. That's the soundtrack to the actual third one, which actually most people would tell you that Tonelico 3 was crap. If you're going to be playing anything, if you want to look for a sequel, pick up this one, Arnold Surge on the PS3. It's in my collection video. That's a prequel, so check that game out. That's well worth it than the actual sequel to this. Now, it's like it doesn't even say Tonelico 3. It's like Tonelico Quaria Noria. It's enough for me about that. Nobody recognizes that game. Trust me, it's that bad. But this is a worthy successor to this first one. It blew me away for how much fun this game is. It's got a fast-paced combat. It proved everything. Instead of like one mage singer, you have two. You have compatibility with fighters who's defending them. That whoever you got defending one mage can protect that mage, and she can trust that person. And as you progress, you will learn to get more connected, and they'll actually like speak a little different when they're singing their magic. Then it's another dating simulator. You can choose between the two girls and everything. Now there's a secret girl in this one, which is my personal favorite. I won't spoil anything like that because I'm not much of a spoiler person, but she's my personal favorite. But man, you gotta try this game. It's getting expensive though. It's getting really expensive. So you gotta try to look for it though. You got to. It's that good of a game. If there's any RPG that I would recommend that anybody has to play on the PS2, it is the Tonelico series. You can ignore Final Fantasy X. You can ignore like I said, there's not too many RPGs that I was very fond of. Now you can ignore DarkCloud and Rogue's Galaxy. Xenogears. Well, was it Xenogears? I think it was Xenosaga, actually, I think it is. But, sorry, it's been a while. Buy this game. Play this game. It is that good of an RPG. Moving on. Now, I remember when we got this for Christmas. And my dad got this for us for Christmas. And he actually got us another game called Torok. Which I don't think it's in this set. I think it's in the next set. But, that is Baldurs Gate Dark Alliance. Now, I remember playing this game. It was like one of our very first like step into Dungeons and Dragons when we were kids. And it is a good game. It's hard too. It's a really hard game, and I mean I've got fond memories of playing this, and the graphics are amazing, and I love the style of this game. It's actually a really good game, and it's a great game to play with a friend. Trust me, it's that good of a game to play with a friend. It's probably like one of the few RPGs that are on the PS2 that's great to play with two players. Check out Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. Not too hard to find, so you shouldn't have to worry. Have no problems with that. And here is the sequel, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2, which is, in my book, not as great of a sequel as the first one, but it's necessary because it really leaves at a cliffhanger on the first one. You really need to play this one, which you don't even progress with the story with the character used in the first one. You play with these other new characters. But, again, great game to play with your friends and everything like that. It's just great games. They're really good games to play, RPGs to look for and to play on your PS2. So, yeah, check out Dark Alliance. Now, I recommend Tonelico before this, but still a good game to play. Moving on, and here is Beyond Good and Evil. Now, a lot of people are big fans about this game. Now, I don't have no personal connection to this game. I didn't grow up playing it or anything like that. But a lot of people say this is where the roots of Assassin's Creed and like Prince of Persia: Sands of Time's combat system came from. And actually playing it, they're right. It is, you can see the similarities to it because it was made by Ubisoft, if you didn't know. But I know there is a remaster version of this on Steam, and I think it's on the PS3's PSN store. They never released a physical copy of it on the remastered version. I know, tier. But yeah, it's actually a pretty good game. I have not beat it. I have not dedicated enough time to it to play it, but what little I've played, solid game for sure. Now here's another game that was. It was different at its time. Not really different, but just was the first step into what we have now. And that is Black. If anybody knows, Black is one of those, like, movie action-packed shooters where it's got, like, stylish combat and stylish gunplay and everything. It's like gun porn. This is like before Borderlands gun porn. Because like the guns are like when you're holding an FPS, the details and explosions and stuff like that. It's just pure chaotic. You just want to go on this game on the easiest difficulty and just go mowing down everybody. Mowing enemies down. But it's actually a really good game. It's actually detailed. I don't really care for the story. I don't care for anything. I just pop it in and start blowing shit up. That's how much the game. The point is, because it's all guns blazing, as it says. So, like, what I meant by the situation is, when you play this, you can see how Call of Duty and stuff like that has initiated from what Black stood from. A lot of people ask for a sequel to this, and even if you got a sequel, I don't know how they could do anything to it to improve upon it than what we already have now. It'd just be what people would just call generic, because we already have games that are it and better. Or not better, but also does other things. So, then Black ends where it ends, and it is a game to play on the PS2. Definitely a worthy thing to play. Now, I haven't played it, so I just got it, actually, and that is Blood Omen 2. I actually did not have no connection to the Blood Omen series, or Legacy of Kain for that matter. A lot of people tell me that they're amazing good games. So I bought it, and it was good condition, great condition, so I saw it, and it's like, I'll add this to the collection. Have not played it. So I have played a little bit of the first one, the Blood Omen, which is, Blood Omen right here on the PS1, right there. Played a little bit of it. It's definitely an interesting game. You play as a vampire, and this is supposed to be the sequel to it, so I need to try to sit down and play it. Moving on. One of my most favorite fighting games out there. I want a sequel to it. A lot of people want a sequel to it. And that is Bloody Roar 4. This is an amazingly good fighting game. It is I love transforming into a monster. I love the chaos, and I love all the blood and gore inside of it. It is an amazing fighting game, and I love bashing through people through the walls and doing the ultimate combo attacks and stuff. It is an amazing game, and I cannot believe we've never gotten a sequel. We have not gotten on Bloody Roar 5 or any of that. Especially on nowadays technology, it would look amazing. This game, even on the PS2, still looks amazing. I'm blown away every time I pop this in and how good the graphics look and how fast the combat system is. This is a fighting game you need to play on your PS2. Here's an interesting game. Now, I don't know how too many people know about this, and that's Bombastic. Now, basically, Bombastic is the actual sequel to Devil Dice. I don't know if you even know what Devil Dice is. It's a PS1 game, right here. Not too many people know about it. Devil Dice. It's actually a sequel to it, because now, if you look in the front, he's got little devils right there in the front, and then you got a little devil right there. That's how they actually look like. They don't look like that in the game, but they actually look like that in the game. But it's basically like a puzzle version of Bomberman. That's the best way I can explain it. And it's actually very cutesy and very artistically designed in certain aspects. And I didn't know this was a sequel to it. I actually, when I saw it, I was like, Bombastic. I thought it was something totally else because it didn't say Devil Dice. It's a sequel to a game that doesn't hold the same title of the name. So it blew me away when I saw it and I popped it in. It's still an interesting, fun game. They're an interesting puzzle game to play. Trust me, you gotta try them both out. Now, I can't really say one's better than the other. They're both kind of different in their gameplay style, but they're still fun. So, here it is. Next one is Burnout 3 Takedown. Now, I didn't play any of the Burnouts until Burnout Paradise. Yes, I did not play Burnout, any of them, until I got Burnout Paradise, and I love Burnout Paradise. Burnout Paradise is probably one of my most favorite racing games on the last generation consoles, PS3. But I played this, and I can see the roots. I love the roots. I love playing games and seeing where they stand from and where they are now. And still, even this is not like diminished in any way from Burnout Paradise and nowadays gaming. There's no way. You still need to play Burnout. It's still fun. It's still chaotic. It's still the fast-paced explosion and madness it is. But it's not open world. It's not like Burnout Paradise where you can just drive wherever you want. It's just set tracks here and there, which I have no problem with that. I don't believe that every game has to be open world. But Burnout. Try it out. It's actually a really good game. And another one, and that is Burnout Revenge. Basically, another really good Burnout. Now, these are probably the two best ones. They say it's on the PS2 is Burnout Revenge and Burnout Takedown. I played them both great. They're both like almost the same, but also got their own style. So it's worthy of playing. Get them both and worthy of playing. They're not hard to find. And Capcom Collection. Basically, it comes with all the Capcom classic arcade games and NES games. I mostly bought this because I love Super Ghouls and Goblins. It's one of my most favorite Super Nintendo games. It has a special place in my heart of why I love that game so much, but I'll save that when I get to my Super Nintendo collection where I tell about that story. But yeah, it's really a good game. It's worthy to buy to put it in your collection because the PS2 had a lot of these collection bundles like this. It's one reason you want to hold on to your PS2 and still buy PS2 games because you use a lot of these collection things. So yeah, check it out. It's worthy of a pickup. And then he had a sequel, one of it, with more of them. And so they had more of them, more games to play. So it's more collectible collection of games to play. So yeah, check it out right here. I probably didn't open up the other one, but it's not that much different. But yeah, check it out. I'd be nice and show you the inside of the first one. That was rude of me not to show it. Sorry. Moving on. Now here's a game that actually was a lot of fun when I played it with my brother, one of my older brothers, and that is Champions Return to Arms. We played this like constantly. It was like because we had the Baldurs Gate Dark Alliance, the first one, and we never had the second one. We didn't never get the second one until way later in life, to the point we didn't even remember the first one that much. But then Champions Return to Arms always remind us of those good old days of Baldur's Gate. But it is an amazing game. I have heard the other one, Champions of Norath, is a good too, but it's got a lot of bugs. I haven't decided if I want to pick that up yet, because I hate games that has bugs and are broken on physical disc. Even if it's like a game that's got patches and stuff like that, I won't buy it, because that means I don't have the patches. So anytime that the PSN goes down, or I cannot access those patches anymore, I still have a broken game. That aggravates the heck out of me. But yeah, check this out. It's actually a really good game. I don't know if I opened it up. I probably did already, but yeah, it's amazing fighting game. Amazing RPG right here. And I don't have any affiliation to this. It's, Commando 2, Men of Courage. I actually have no connection to this game. I saw it and it looked interesting because I'm a big fan of strategy games. And anybody knows me knows that. There's the inside. I just wish it didn't have the crease on the manual. I probably have to look for a replacement manual. But I played a little bit of it, and good game, great graphics, but man, the controls on the controller are terrible. They're very, very clunky and complicated. I mean, it's like they didn't even stop to think about how to make these controls better. It's just really hard. You definitely need to play it on PC, because man, it's hard as hell to play with a controller. But it's still a good game. I'm still learning and everything. And just due to the fact of the sheer clunkiness of the controllers, that makes it super hard game to play. But yeah, I haven't played enough of it, so I can't really recommend it or tell you not to get it. Then check it out. I almost feel every game's worth a check out. Now, here's another game is a lot of people have been asking for a sequel for, and a lot of people were disappointed for this PlayStation's Expo, and that was Crash Bandicoot Twinsanity. Now, this is probably, a lot of people say, the last good sequel to the Crash Bandicoot series. And I've played it, and it is. It is a really good sequel. Now, I have no problems with it. It's an enjoyable and funny experience. Now, does it have the impact as 1, 2, and 3 did? No. But I would not disclude it and say it's a terrible sequel. No, I would not. It's actually a really good sequel. And if you've been wanting to play Crash Bandicoot, and if you have a PS2 and you haven't played it, try Crash Twinsanities. it's actually a really good Crash game. It actually doesn't get enough love. Now, here's a personal problem I always had with the PS2. PS2 did not have a lot of strategy games, and that's also a really big thing I love. It didn't have like Sim City, Sim Theme Park, which it did, but it basically was a port of the PS1, which was stupid. But here's a strategy game right here, and that is Modern Military Tactics. That's the name of the game, and it's basically just a generic. I wouldn't say generic, but generic board game gameplay. If you ever played Panzer General and stuff like that, there's the inside. Panzer General or just board top games with the hexagon boards and everything, it's basically that. And it's got, the reason I held onto it because it's one of the few actually on the PS2, because I can't even think of anything that's else like this on PS2. And it's got, you can customize your own maps, and I thought that was really intriguing. It's got a lot of nations you can play, and surprisingly it's anime. It's kind of like this anime campaign and stuff like that. So I haven't played enough of it because I got other games that are like it and better. I just wanted a version like those games on my PS2 in case if I have to resort to playing my PS2, I have a game like that. Now here's a game that it needs a third in an installment, and that is DarkCloud. There's no person who can tell you they've never played a PS2 can say anything bad about the DarkCloud series. It is an amazing game and experience on the PS2. It is a grinder, yes. And it's a dungeon crawler, yes. And it doesn't bring anything really new to the table, but it brings so much together in a perfect form that it's like an amazing experience that I can never replace it in my life. I don't think there's any game that's ever been able to like beat it and better. That's what I guess what I'm trying to get at. It's like DarkCloud is a one-time experience, and I cannot think of any game I've ever played that gave me the same experience. And you need to play DarkCloud if you've never have played DarkCloud. A lot of people say it looks like Link or from Legend of Zelda Link, and yes, I can see the similarities. But he's still his own man. He's got his great character stance and everything. You gotta play DarkCloud. And if you can't play DarkCloud and you find this one, play this one, and that is DarkCloud 2. This has actually become really rare, and it's slowly becoming pretty pricey for this game because it is an actual amazing sequel to the first one. I fell in love with this one. The first one was an amazing experience. When I played the second one though, boom, I was blown away for how much you can do. All the customizations, building up the city, building up your robot, customizing your weapons, finding all the hidden gear and stuff like that, and all the crafting in the game. It was like, wow! This is why people want a third installment. It needs a third installment, because like I said, I can't think of one game that provided the experience that the DarkCloud experience did. It took like Mario, RPGs, Legend of Zelda, all the dungeon crawling, put Sim City, all that, and put it together and made it work and made it reasonable in its world. Now you could put all these things together and it'd be like, well, you got all these things together, but it doesn't make sense. But it makes sense in this game. It goes good at the good. There is no breaking of the flow. Everything feels like it has a purpose. This is an amazing game, and I can never highly recommend DarkCloud. You need to play DarkCloud if you have not. Now, here's another two games I yet to sit down and play, and I didn't actually play a lot of their games, so I'm really new to their world, and that is the... Sorry, stack fell over. Shin Megami Tensen's Digital Devil Saga. I never even heard of this game. I saw it, and I was able to buy the first and second one for like $5 new. There's the inside. So I bought it, and I was like, whoa, look at this. I'm going to fix this real quick. Yeah, I haven't played it, and a lot of people say that the Shin Megami Tensen's games are really good. I don't have no connection with them, and they seemed interesting, very dark and gritty. And yeah, I hope to try to play more of this. And here is the sequel, and that is the Devil Saga 2, which I have yet to play. I have no connection. I don't know nothing about this game. It seems interesting. It seems dark. I hope to sit down and play it, but gosh dang, having the time to play such games, because I mean, these games are like long. Like I said, I haven't played it, so I don't know. A lot of people highly recommend these games. Digital Devil Saga doesn't get don't hear a lot about it, so it might be one of those underrated games that that gets shoveled up with like DarkCloud and all those games. So, moving on, and that is Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII. Now, this was disappointed a lot of people when I released it, because it was like everyone was expecting like an actual sequel to Final Fantasy VII and stuff, but it's not a bad game. It's not a bad game. It's definitely a fun and experienced thing to play. I enjoyed it. I remember playing it, and I loved every second of it. I was disappointed that it was not very tactical or turn-based or any of that form, but it was still a fun game to play. Because I expected, when it said Dirges of Cerberus, I was like, okay, well, this is not a sequel. This is like a spin-off story or an offshoot story from like the Final Fantasy line, and this is like, hey, this is over here. This is something over here. And I expected that. I had that ideal when I picked it up and played it, and did not disappoint. Not a bad game, not at all. It's not an amazing game, but nowhere near a bad game. Now, I remember this is like when I was doing that whole Tonelico game. Like, I was buying games that seemed interesting that I was never my genre. It was due to the fact of my interest in anime. I never was into anime a long time ago. I've seen a few animes, but I was not into it like I am now. And I saw this, and I was like, oh, wow, this looks interesting. And that is Disgaea, Hour of Darkness. And, yeah, it's a great game. There is no doubt denying the greatness of Disgaea. I love Laharo. I know a lot of people say Fond over Flan and Edna and the Prinnies, which the Prinnies are really cool, too. I love the Prinnies. Dude, man, I love that. But Laharo, I cannot actually now... I've come to the point where it's hard for me to play Disgaea game if I'm not playing Laharo. I have to have Laharo. I can play other Disgaea games because you know there are many sequels out there. But they're nowhere near as good as playing Laharo. I played this game. I love the game. I love the anime. Man, the anime's good. You gotta see the anime of it. I love Laharo. I was so disappointed that he never made it. And that's Laharo right there. I was so disappointed he never getting into the PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale game. It blew me away, which is, I guess I go over here somewhere. You know what game I'm talking about, where it's like the Smash Bros version of PlayStation games with all the PlayStation icon characters. I was so waiting for Laharo. I was like, dude, DLC, don't give me Isaac Clarke, don't give me Zeus, give me Laharo. We most likely would have gotten Flan or Edna, but I love Laharo. I love his lap. I love his evilness. I love his name. Just his care about other things. Man. I love Laharo. He's like one of my most favorite video gaming characters in that anime genre. I like that. Another good game, and that is, Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest 8, I believe it is. Yeah, 8. Sorry, that's 8. I was sitting there thinking 7, but I was like, I don't think this is 7. And there's the inside. That's the demo disc to Final Fantasy 12. And there's the game. There's the inside. Now, I haven't really sat down and played this game. I actually watched one of my brother's ex-girlfriends actually was playing this, and I watched her for most of the entire game. It looked a really good game. I was actually having more fun helping her get through it and then me actually playing it. So maybe that's why I haven't really sat down and played it myself, because I feel like I kind of already played it because I was helping her get through it. But yeah, it looked like a really good game, and it is a well-made game. And I do believe we're actually finally getting a sequel, Dragon Quest 9, which hopefully comes in the US. I would totally will buy it. So yeah, and it's made from, if you don't know, the Dragon Quest games are supported from Akira Toriyama, which is the person who made Dragon Ball series. If you can't tell, it's his art style. He does all the art to the Dragon Quest games, I believe. I don't know if he's done them all, but I know he's been a part of it for a long time. And it's very artistic, well designed levels and monsters and everything, characters. Great game. Now here's a game, which I need to get a better cover, a case for. And it didn't get a lot of love, because it doesn't have the fluid controls and everything like that, which I don't judge every single game just because of its controls. Now I know I said that Commandos 2 had bad controls, and I still try to play it, but you gotta play that Commandos 2 game. You would understand. But here's a game that actually I enjoyed a lot, and that's Extermination. Now, maybe I got into this game a lot because I am a huge fan of the Thane movie. I love the Thane movie, and this is a lot like the Thane movie. And when I got this when I was a kid, I was really young at that time. I don't remember how old I was when I played it, but I love the Resident Evil series. One of the Resident Evil series is one of my most favorite survival horror games, and it's actually made from some of the original creators of the Resident Evil games who made this. And it's a good game. I don't know why it gets ignored a lot, and it's never gotten a sequel. And it needs a sequel because it's actually a really fun game, and it's a different style, and I'm actually kind of disappointed because it's such a good game. I enjoyed every second with it. I actually just recently replayed it because I had it and I got rid of it and I repicked it back up because, like I said, I got rid of all my PS2 games, and I sat down and played it and I was like, this is still as good as it was still like nowadays console games. I'm really sad that a lot of people don't even know about it or have even played it, or it doesn't get the recognition it should. And moving on, and another survival horror game, which I have not sat down and played. I watched Let's Plays, I have done it. Maybe it's because I have watched Let's Plays, I have not sat down and played it. And which, I'm glad I got a brand new copy, and that is Fatal Frame. Yep, I have the original Fatal Frame right here. Right here, brand new. I played a little bit of it and everything. It's still a great game. It's very tension. I do believe that a lot of people say they're really good survival horrors, the Fatal Frame games, and they are. They really are. I don't think they hold up. And I don't like to say games get outdated. It's just I've played a lot of survival horror games because I love that genre so much. I just wish I played the Fatal Frame games when it released it. I would have probably had, because I would have had this nostalgia, I would have had the impact that this game was trying to provide at that time. And so that's my biggest disappointment every time I look at the Fatal Frame games, because I wasn't there when it released it. I needed to be there. I actually did not know about it when I was growing up. So, and it makes me disappointed. And to be honest with you, that is like the weirdest cover art for a game. It's like very weird looking. But yeah, I do believe you should try it if you've never played Fatal Frame games, or watch a Let's Plays, because they got some good Let's Plays. Now here is the holy grail of the Fatal Frame games, and that is Fatal Frame 2. This has actually become quite expensive to get a hold of, because this one they say is the best Fatal Frame game out there. And a lot of people actually argue to say it's the best survival horror game out there, which I have not played it, because I like to play a number. I like to play through 1, 2, and 3 and everything. Which I have the third one, but it's not in this collection video, but because it's in a different row. But yeah, I have not played it. I played a little bit of it just to make sure the game works and everything like that, and make sure, because I don't want to get a game and say I don't like saying a game I never played it, which I've played all my games. I just hasn't beat it or dedicated a lot of time to it, because I got so many other games I want to dedicate my time to. But yeah, I mean, the Fatal Frame games are definitely a really good, intriguing game to play, and I will sit down at one point in my life and play them. That is for sure, because I'm a big fan of fixed camera angles and tank controls. For the love of God, bring back fixed camera angles and tank controls. I can do twirls around you in those controls. I am a god at playing those games like that. And I miss those controls, and that's why I'm super glad like they're doing the HD remakes of the Resident Evil remakes and Resident Evil 0 with the still keeping their tank controls, because man, I love those controls so much. It makes a smile on my face. But yeah, that's the last game of this collection, and thank you for all for watching, and I will be getting to the other collections. I know this video took a long time to come out. I just wasn't around to mood to doing it, and I was still trying to build up my PS2 collection. I didn't want to make like 2 videos or 1 video and not have make a few other games to show off. So I've been building up and working it up and trying to give you a better video for you guys to watch, because I don't just want to show you the generic set. But thank you all for watching, and I will definitely get to the next part of this episode, which hopefully I got 2 more other parts after this one. So yes. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye!